TT Visuals. Trust the visuals.
These people didn't do anything for 2.5 years. They should have been exposing this. But what am I doing? I'm fighting the deep state. I'm fighting the swamp. And I said I was doing it, and I'm exposing the swamp. I think if it keeps going the way I'm going, and Ratcliffe is fantastic, if it keeps going the way it's going, I have a chance to break the deep state.
Or they hop out with that chop, they yelling timber. It's 3 for 1s, I can't retreat, I can't surrender. They kick your door, they ain't gonna knock before they enter. Retaliation is a must, who gonna avenge us? When it's time to go to war, no, I'm gonna pop off. Cause Bill Gates play the type of games that get you knocked off. And I'm gonna say what I want, fuck if they feeling me. They killed Corinne, but still ain't go get that bitch Hillary. And I ain't hiding in no cave, I ain't Osama. They touch Trump, then we sliding on Obama. Before we touch the battlefield, we bang the war drums. He's the warning, motherfucker, these the war drums. And I can't fold, can't let them have me in no deep state. In a headshot, I have you in a deep state. The Jews sacrificing babies, yeah, it's really real. So make sure you save some semi-shells for Israel. Don't trust that nigga Akon, he try to line us. When we done sliding through this bitch, we in China. Just let me know, please, when it's over for the politics. So I could bring the hitters back. 3 Ks for the KKK, Mac for a Democrat.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous violin with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
What's up, party people, to another episode of Who Asked You Podcast. I am your host, Studi 2 Groovy, and tonight I have a very, very, very special guest in the building right now. We have been kind of talking and sharing information back and forth, and he be talking about some dope topics. So I wanted to bring him in and introduce him to everybody. So without further ado, it's time to introduce DEEZY.
Yo, what's up, family? How y'all doing?
Good, bro. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, y'all see that? When the lighter don't work. Petty.
My bad, y'all. But yeah, DEEZY, please introduce yourself to the audience. Let them know a little bit about yourself and what you do. And shout out
family.
to them.
Hey, shout out to my man Studi Groovy. Call me Cordeezy Time. I run a pretty big Facebook page, and I part of the Bro Sanchez classroom and the Coach 7 classroom. So I'm in a lot of different segments of the conscious community, trying to put my feet in the feet with politics. I kind of like just specialize in the awakening process, helping people to wake up. And I've identified certain steps in my process that I found that, and I've learned to replicate that, start duplicating people. That's just a little bit about what I do.
Yeah, and how has that process been for you? Like, do you think it's kind of hard for Black people to wrap their minds around that type of information?
That's a good question. It's not necessary. I mean, I study now, social engineering, Oh, social engineering.
Hold on. You're coming in and out, so just refresh and then just come back in. They're saying you're kind of buffering. I mean, not buffering, but coming in and out. Hey, we're gonna have to collectively find a different platform for this shit, cause StreamYard ain't hitting.
How about now? How's my mic now?
Okay. Yep.
It's all good. I'm on Young Metro PCS. But no, about waking. You said something about waking people up. It it could be hard at times. Our people could be ignorant, but I feel like there's a lot of little facts that's scattered. What I'm saying, amongst us, and like we know, I'm saying, a little bits of decent shit. We know that we don't choose a president. We know that music is Illuminati, and we know that a few other. What I'm saying? So what I try to do is I try to bring details into light, give people like the formula they self see through the bullshit. Then I offer more shit that's going on as well, and that kind of aids in.
Yeah, and I feel like people take new information as an attack on themselves and not at the attack on the lies. You feel me? Like it. I'm sorry that we got lied to, and everything that we know to be true is fake. Like, sorry, but like, they take it like, because I definitely been going through the rounds, and I'll be seeing you intellectually boxing with people in your comments all the time. So, like, I don't know.
And I got to do it, man. And this, I've always wanted to be a teacher. People like Young Pharaoh and people like that, when they do these debates, it kind of made me like, damn, this shit's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it made me kind of like ready and excited to get involved in these type of things. And there's also, what I'm saying, my page, I got a lot of people on my page. So there's always these silent watchers. Everybody has, on their page, they're there for the comments, just to read. So when somebody comes on my page talking about, you're wrong, you're spreading misinformation, I got to literally like drill their ass. I have to drill their ass so everybody can see it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's learning. You know what I mean? This first time.
And I'll say this too: when people try to argue with you, it actually makes you sharpen your sword even more, because you have to kind of predict what angles they're gonna come with to try to debunk the truth. So it's really like, if you really into intellectualism and you really care about teaching, you'll go a couple rounds. I ain't saying all day and all night, but you'll go a couple rounds.
Yeah, no doubt. It's actually sparring.
Yeah. So can we kind of talk about your SoundCloud? Like, can you introduce that?
Yeah. I got I just made a SoundCloud because I've been telling my folks that I'm gonna make a podcast, and so I downloaded SoundCloud and started uploading files. But I guess now I got to start paying for it. I want to hold more music, not music, hold more lectures on it. So right now I got 3 episodes on there, and I intend on making more, and I intend on building on that. But yeah, it's DEEZY's Conscious Connection on SoundCloud, and the first episodes on like my formulas that I have for the law of attraction, how to like really reprogram your subconscious mind, ways to change your perspective on life, so you're able to get more of what you want and less of what you don't. And I think the episode 2 was on GMOs, and the 3rd episode I was chopping it up with one of my Asian homies.
So what is it called for people who are interested in listening? Like, what is it called?
It's called DEEZY's Conscious Connections on SoundCloud. That's DEEZY and then Conscious Connections.
Okay, I'm about to have it scrolling for those who are interested.
Yep, or you can get it live and direct from Facebook, because I go live on there as well. So I'm more consistent on there. I probably gonna be more now. I'm just debating on buying it, bro. I'm just like, damn, pay $15 a month. Damn. Copy. Uh,
I see some people in the building. So, okay, so what about, because I know you have some history in radio, right?
yes.
Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I clicked one of the links that you had, and I learned some very interesting things, and I think that's going to be the very first topic I want to get into. So can you kind of tell people a little bit about your radio experience before we, get into the information?
Yeah, no, that's interesting you pointed that out, man. You're a good interviewer. Sure. I worked, didn't necessarily work, but at my school, we had a jazz radio station that was basically inside of our school, and that broadcast FM radio, I think, on citywide radio station or whatever. But it was like third period, I'd go, you know what I mean, and I'd host, jazz for class, 88.5. It was real sweet because it was like literally a whole radio catalog, and like I learned like little new about like news and stuff like that, because basically how news is delivered, they just we just have a sheet that we print off. There's just something to read off. You get to choose what you want to read. They give the operator that choice, but ultimately it's just things that were set to say for like news, basically printed off on AP news by. But yeah, working at the radio station was pretty cool. I was pretty young, so I didn't really get into it too much. But I seen like artists, like I didn't know my chemistry teacher. He produced jazz album.
Yeah, well, I noticed kind of a pattern that a lot of us truth seekers have some sort of radio, some sort of like public speaking background. Because I too worked for a radio for a little while. Old Head says we coming out choppy. Are we both coming out choppy? Let me look. Don't do nothing, bro. I'm about to refresh mine and see if that's going.
Yeah, and if it's my shit that's choppy too, I apologize, family, because I don't know. Young Metro mad at me, so they probably reducing my service or something. So I apologize for that inconvenience as well.
Nah, but you clear now, so
Ooh.
like I could hear you perfect. If I have to ask you a question, then take myself off. I'll do that. Like I'll be playing games, stream games. But now on that radio show, or at least the link that I clicked, the host was talking about the frills on the flag and what they actually mean. It's not just pretty decor on our flag. Can you kind of tell people what that, what the frills on the flag actually stand for?
Okay, yeah. So you talking about Culture 7? That's that's my podcast, or my favorite podcast that I listen to. And it's actually, I recommend that podcast if you ever want to like listen to something, learn like quick knowledge on things, and it's really dope. But yeah, so the specific episode that I shared was about the gold fringe on the flag, because everybody knows what the United States flag looks like. But what people don't understand is that flag is not necessarily the flag that's being flown in courtrooms or in at the military or things like that. So when you ever see the flag with gold fringes on it, is like that gold barrier that goes around the flag, that suggests that we're in maritime admiralty law. So what that means is that we're now operating over a completely different law system. There's common law and there's law of the sea. Common law is, you don't produce no harm to anybody and you don't injure anybody. What maritime law is all this millions of laws that nobody ever knows and nobody was ever taught. because all of those laws only apply to corporations. And what we're probably going to get into a little bit later is talking about how the United States actually made you a corporation and ends up making you have to operate on water versus, as a flesh and blood human being ever since you came out of your mom's birth canal. But, that's
Yep. I'm going to throw a little tidbit that I learned from there is the fact that they actually, the sac, I can't think of what the word is, but the sac that you come out of, your flower of life, that umbilical flower of life, that's the real person. And we are act like that's the real, in their records, that's the actual human there. But we are like the corporated entity. And that's why we're born. That's why we don't get to step on the soil when we're first born. That's why we get our footprint, put on the card and get a social security number. Because that's no different than the EIN. You feel me? Fact. And I'm gonna let you elaborate, and I'm gonna slide off so it don't, start messing up. But yeah.
No, that's a fantastic point, and that's really what it is. When we talk about this, we're talking about maritime admiralty law. So now everything makes it seem like we're ships now. That's why we have citizenships, relationships, all different types of ships. We're in situationships right now. But as soon as you're born and you come out of your mom's birth canal, your birth. Ships, when they come to shore or to dock, they're birthed. That's what it's called. A ship is birthed. When ships also get like a black tar like on the bottom of their of the boat for like some waterproof reason or something like that. I forgot what that term's called, but that's also something that they put that on our feet as well. But then they also put your feet, the first thing your feet touch is paper and not land. So they kind of make you seem like you're under contract with them in a way. And what it is it's the birth certificate. Like once you were born, to them, they legally consider you an abortion because they sit here and cut your umbilical cord, and they sit here and they take there's a third part. I think it's like a tertium quid, or it's like the placenta and the cull, and then the baby. And when they dismember you, you're considered like you're not fully born to them, and they claim your abandoned ship, that like they claim that other stuff that they just snipped off, because they snip it off and ship it off quick as fuck. You know what I mean? So it's all very occult, it's all very deep, and we all got to get familiar.
Yeah, that's why they cut that umbilical cord before all of the blood gets drained and all the nutrients get drained, because that is literally the essence of life. That was what was developing and making sure that you were good in that womb, and that's why they take the placenta away, and they don't ask permission to take it. They don't tell you what they're going to do with it. They don't do anything. And really, truth be told, you're not even supposed to cut that. It's supposed to naturally fall off. So, in that like we think about it, when we're born too, like take all the legal stuff out. We're literally born into trauma. We come from because out of darkness comes everything. So as soon as we're born, we got lights flashing, non-organic material touching our skin, people cutting at us, pulling at us, wiping us down, like all of this trauma. That's why kids be crying, because they like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on?
Immediately. They fucking with you immediately. That's insane. You're birthed. Where do you ships get birthed? At the dock. Who do you get birthed to? The doctor. You know what I mean? They're called doctors for a reason. And your name in all capital letters is a corporation, and they treat you as such. And it's really messed up. So yeah, man, birthing, bro, it's so crazy. Like how you just said, they just come in and assault you, circumcision you, all of that, man. It's so sick. I'm trying to think about that train of thought.
Well, yeah, but yeah, so that's like we got to kind of change that a little bit. Now,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My bad. We got to change it because we got to start having more home natural versus dealing with these doctors because for one, it's safer and healthier. You know what I mean? It's contrary to popular belief just because you think that they have you in a sterile environment that they're doing the best for you. No, there's, what are they called? Doulas. There's, midwives and, natural birthing things at home because you want to have it healthy, but you also want to get off contract with these people. Because I'm just telling you, they just put your baby's feet on paper and that's the first thing that it touched. So that's their reasoning to make you like they have claim to your kid. That's why CPS is coming in here kidnapping kids because they got birth certificates. This shit's deep and it's sick as fuck.
and a vampire cannot enter your home without permission. Every time somebody knocks on your door, you have a choice whether to open it or not. If you can dip and dodge the what's the people, the Rent-A-Center people, why can't you dip and dodge CPS? Like it's not that hard, yo.
Damn.
For real. But let's talk about let's get this out the way. Clearly, these elections are fabricated. Clearly, Trump has have all of the votes for the most part. They've damn near admitted to sabotaging election poll stations. They at least at minimum 300,000 votes were not counted.
Yeah.
Let's pretend like we don't know that it's all ritual and they gonna pick and choose whoever they want to anyway. Right. What does that say to the people of the United States about? Because in the Constitution, we are allowed to overthrow a corrupt government. I'm not saying that I want everybody to go crazy because I don't want the Civil War to pop off, to be honest with you. But can you speak on that? On that?
Well, there's a lot of fuckery going on right now, for lack of better words. And if I were to put like me thinking that the elections were rigged, I'll be highly suspect right now. You know what I mean? Knowing what I know and seeing what I've seen, I wouldn't logically, if I was invested in this election in any sense, I would not see Biden as a stronger candidate than Trump at all. And as far as these facts are concerned, they're sitting here telling us that Joe Biden has gotten more popular votes than motherfucking Barack Obama. So if that doesn't scream rigged and a red flag, I don't know what does at that point. I mean, if I didn't know that this shit was rigged before, I know now. So that's how I'm thinking about it. But no, it's really crazy also because it's like you see news things like, oh, there's letters, there's mail-in ballots that were found and they all say Trump on them, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, well, that doesn't necessarily make sense because one, who the fuck is opening up those envelopes, because that's tampering, that's messing with federal, mail. That's a federal crime. But also it's like, oh, you're saying this specific care package of mail-in ballots all supposedly said Trump, but supposedly this nigga Joe Biden is winning all of the popular votes in every place ever. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense. So it's like, to me, if I were to follow it so closely and would be detailed oriented, those were a few things that would stand out to me. But, I'm more beyond that. Now I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, we're really at a real great reset. You know what I'm saying? Like shit is really shifting and hitting the fan. Like we had the Trump card.
And yeah, let's kind of break that down because I was gonna say, for those who watched my latest lecture, they know what the Schumann resonance is. But for those who don't, I'm gonna tell everybody what the Schumann resonance is. The Earth has its own heartbeat. Okay, and it pretty much beats every 8. You know, it has cycles of 8. So if you look up the Schumann Resonance Today website, it shows you that on election night, all the energy of the planet was like quiet, still. Literally, there was no peaks and valleys of energy flow at all. And we all know that we are on the edge of the Aquarian age. And what the Aquarian age is going to do is pour out all of the lies, pour out all of the deceit, and then we have a choice to make. And we know that it's not going to be easy, and we know that literally unraveling and upheaval is what this time in the universe was always going to be. So, would you like to expound on that while I go do something real quick?
Yeah. Yeah. No, Brother Man brought up a very great point, man. The Schumann resonance, bro. I haven't heard that term in a minute, but it really rings to me right now. It's like we are all at a moment, a very big, huge cusp. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with what's going to happen at the Great Conjunction. Saturn and Jupiter are conjuncting in December 21st, 2020. And that's supposed to be a huge paradigm shift, which is, less than a month away, or just over a month away. But basically, when I think about energy and when I think about how, we go to polls to elect a president, you know what I mean? And it's all energy, you know what I mean? We're casting a vote. Vote is like a vote, like an energy vote. You know what I mean? So we're going to go cast a vote for an election, electrocution. And but back to the Schumann residence, after, you know what I mean? I feel like after we put all this energy into it, you know what I mean? It's that little standby phase, and something's gonna break. And everything's been alluding to it, you know what I mean? Everything has been climaxing up until this point. And it's almost as if it's an egregore, which is basically thoughts. All of our thoughts go to a collective thing. Like if we sit here and think about something, that thing essentially exists, or you know what I mean? We have like a hive mind.
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
I am so glad that you said that, because not too long ago, and if y'all could just scroll down, I said that was literally the biggest spell ever put on us, talking about Armageddon and the end of the world and Satan and Jesus and all that stuff. Literally, if Christianity and Islam is the biggest religions around the world, that frequency, that thought of, oh, God's going to come, Jesus is going to come back, or the Savior is going to come back, and Satan is going to rule for 1,000 years, they're literally manifesting that. And that is stronger than people like us who are awakening, that's part of our job, to spread the information and spread the knowledge. But Goddess, that is a fact. That's why they use celebrities. That's facts. Because they use people with the widest platform, you know what I'm saying? And they push the narrative. And it's kind of like our fault. Like that's what we've been manifesting this whole time. And that's only because you're literally taught, oh, Satan is going to rule for 1,000 years. Oh, you're going to get the mark of the beast. Y'all know they're going to get the mark of the beast, right? You heard of the mark of the beast? Yeah, that mark of the beast. And now it's ID 2020, Bill Gates in the mix, and it's about to pop.
Yep. It's all adding up. Like it's just crazy, because we got to just take a step back and realize that everything that we know of and think of has been given to us by them, unless you have any sort of, original thought. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's exactly why they use celebrities and everything else that they can create, because they sit here and make things and imbue it with an energy and just blow it at us, right? And then, we take it and breathe more life into it, and we sit here and do worship it, and do more things than they ever anticipated the thing to be. So this gets back into tapping into our roots, tapping back into how we originally think, and how, you know what I mean, shit, even, you know, we don't even got to get into that, but just challenging everything, you know what I mean? Because they are sitting here lying to us about everything, sitting here, got us thinking that the world is overpopulated. And it's so much more of the opposite. You know what I mean? We're at a time right now where we need to be repopulating ourselves because some races are going extinct. You know what I mean? So it's just all crazy to me, but it's all gets back into like everything that we know is given to us by them, and we have to take steps back and create original thoughts for ourselves.
That's facts, and that's why sacred geometry and going back to learning from nature and learning from babies and, you know, just resetting everything that we think that we know is so important, because everything is distorted.
Facts.
Everything is distorted. Like
There's no lie in
everything.
nature. My bad. No, there's no lie in nature. You can definitely, that could be your favorite teacher, right?
That's facts. What was I gonna say? What do you know about the Jisara slash Nisara Act?
Damn, that was something that I was supposed to be researching before I hopped on. Can you give a definition of that real quick? Because I'm probably familiar. I just forgot.
Well, that's basically like the name of the governmental plan to take away like all of the assets and stuff of the elite and redistribute all of the wealth to everybody and start the debt over and yada yada yada, all of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
No, go ahead. Go.
No, I was just gonna say, do you think that there is validity to that, or do you think it's kind of like wishful thinking? Because I'm not gonna. I literally. It amazes me all of the information that's out on the Obama administration, Hunter Biden. He literally like having sex with his like daughters and stuff on tape.
Crazy.
And people are like ignoring all of that. So we hear the positive, okay, this is going on in the back, but then you see shit like this in front of us. So do you think that could be valid? Like,
I think that from knowing what I know, you know what I mean, and I guess I can get into this, you know what I mean, which will probably make it a little bit more clear. Yeah, I do think that it's actually possible, because what's going on right now is so when the United States was created, the United States, it basically got like resources and stuff from Britain, and you know, the British people, they funded the like the start of America. So basically there was a debt between America and Britain when America first started. So it was like 17, so let's say 1756 or something like that. You know, they started like a 70-year, it was like a 70-year thing where they could renegotiate the debt that they had in 70 years. Like that's when they had to pay off the debt. So 70 years after that point in time, which would lead us to the Civil War and Abraham Lincoln, and now the debt has matured more into like some millions more due to inflation and shit like that. And then it was time to renegotiate the debt. So what it was at the original time, it was only the 13 original colonies. And at this new time of negotiation, the crown or whoever we were indebted to at the time, they wanted the southern states as well held as collateral for the next 70 years, you know what I mean, as they sit here and try to renegotiate this debt. And so what happened, this is when, you know, Abraham Lincoln created the United States Corporation, United States Inc., and then did something and ended up using that, you know, as collateral in some weird way. I can't necessarily give details on that. But 70 years after that is going to lead us to the Great Depression, where you know, the stock market crashed, and this would be 1926 now, or 1929. So it's time to renegotiate the 70-year debt again. And of course we didn't have it. And you know what I mean, the southern states were already incorporated and or held as collateral and stuff like that. So now they're like, well, we want everything, state level and city level, and then they also wanted, I think, like the roads or something like that. So but this is also the time where they took all the gold, you know what I mean, and this is also the time where they told they had to make a central bank, and then they told them they also created birth certificates around this time, which, you know what I mean, your birth certificate is used to create a straw man out of you and is being held as collateral for this national debt that I'm sitting here trying to explain. So now 70 years past this 1929, excuse me for stuttering, it's a lot of information, is going to be 1999. And this is when, Y2K and shit like that's going on. And the presidency, we're going to switch presidents the next following year. And due to international law, you can only do this set 3 times for a corporation. You can and for corporations, that's why it's 70 years. Usually it's only 7 years, but for countries, debt can be for 70 years. So now we're in 1999. It's the last time, or they can't push it back 70 more years. So now there has to legally be a jubilee in for this debt that we've amassed and accrued. So so there's like a 20-year grace period, and 20 years past 1999 is 2019. And you know what I mean, where we're at now. And honestly, all the presidents from 1999 up until now have all been new world ordered out, you know what I'm saying, and just straight, George Bush came in late. They played that fiasco during his election, and then he sat there and bust down the Twin Towers, and you know what I mean, woo woo woo. So to show you that, you know what I mean, and the dollar's been further and further collapsing. So as far as your question in regards to, do I believe that they're going to try to, rearrange debt or try to, kind of redisperse the wealth amongst the rich or whatever, I feel like there is some type of something that's going to happen, because there's a jubilee, and the dollar has to go now, because the dollar's not, because this is all about, US dollars now. That's going to go, and it's real deep. So I do feel like it's going to happen, and that's why.
Yeah, and they have already set the stage for cryptocurrency. And if y'all watch my Eugenics Revisited lecture, we talked about ID 2020 and how Bill Gates has like damn it. I'll just say microtechnology that reads your actual biofield and the electrical currents in of your body and the brain waves, and it just clocks in all of that data. And whenever you do certain tasks that they want, then that's how you earn money. That's how you earn points. And I hope people don't think that if they really push and mandate this vaccine, that's not going to be in it. Like, that's definitely, they're going to use the virus as an excuse to implant everybody. And once you get that implanted in you, your DNA is going to change. So you're technically not going to be considered an actual human anymore, because your DNA is going to be changed. And you will now be what would be considered a transhuman. And that's when I'm going to let you take over and let you expound on the notion of transhumanism.
Man, it's man, great segue, man, great segue, because it's a very fine point, man, and this specific type of coronavirus virus that I don't want to, bring heat to the channel or whatever, but this specific type of thing that we're going through, they claim that it is it's an RNA type of virus. So the vaccine that they're trying to produce is going to be an RNA type of vaccine, which if you're familiar with biology, you know that there's DNA and then there's RNA, and RNA is a type of DNA that rewrites the DNA and actually kind of basically reprograms or recodes the DNA. So as far as vaccines. They've been sitting here playing around, dabbling around with vaccines for quite a while now. And as far as I can, this is speculation right here. I feel like they've been sitting here trying to craft and perfect their formula through these various vaccines. They there's 56 scheduled vaccines for children that go to school. And if anybody's versed in numerology, you do 5 + 6, that's 11. So that's 11 is a double poke. What I mean? They're double sticking you. But it's funny because, well, it's not so funny because we know that vaccines can contribute to autism and things like that. And as curious as it is, they honestly prefer autistic children and autistic humans because they found that autistic children and kids and people merge with or interface with technology better. You know what I mean? There's people, that's the first thing that they want to do. I have an autistic child, you know what I mean? And that's the first thing they wanted to do is just shove, computer screens and things like this down their throat. And we can even look at, characters or people on television, like, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. And there's even on Criminal Minds, Dr. Reed, who's, you know what I mean? He would be considered on the spectrum of autism. And also so with Sheldon, but you can also see how they are super analytical minded, and they are, you know what I mean, privy in all type of just strange facts, basically. So when we get into ideas of transhumanism, that's combine what I just said about vaccines contributing to autism and getting people ready to be interfaced with machines. And also, I'm taking a step further where, there's ingredients within vaccines like polysorbate 80 and some other type of adjuvants that actually break down the blood-brain barrier and make it more easy for you to be controlled and manipulated. You know what I mean? We can talk about people that, have been gang stalked and or targeted individuals or stuff like that going on. But as far as transhumanism, it's more gonna be appealed and given to us through, like he just said, with that real ID shit that, oh, you can't buy or sell, or, you know what I mean? If you don't wear it now, it's like, oh, you can't buy or sell if you don't have a mask. Then it's going to be like, oh, you need a COVID ID, certificate. And in order to get that, you got to get that mRNA vaccine that we just talked about. Yeah. So,
and they're not going to use their last resort is going to be using like law enforcement. They're going to use people who aren't intelligent, who don't know nothing about anything we're talking about, or who thinks that this is all conspiracy theory. Because one of the things I wanted to mention, because you mentioned the ingredients of vaccines, they actually put chicken and other animal DNAs and components inside those vaccines as well. So they never miss out on a chance to manipulate your biology.
Yeah, they've been sitting here copy and pasting and cutting and pasting and really changing you for quite some time now. You know what I mean? And now I feel like they perfected it. This should be lost on nobody that is Bill Gates that's involved in, the vaccine. That speaks so much of, computer and programming. We see Xbox leading the virtual reality campaign. It's crazy, and that's also coming too. All this reality, virtual reality stuff is all in the same vein because that's where we're all headed. You know what I mean? There's people like us all in this classroom right now that are privy to the 7 hermetic principles and understand natural laws and, law of attraction and things like that. But once we get into this VR and artificial reality and stuff like that, all of that stuff is out of the window, and whatever they say is going to go. And that's going to be a crazy world. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily, believe in everything that they believe, but as soon as we get censored on shit that we say on Facebook, we got to sit here and abide by everything that they say. That's not the world that we want and what we So I just hope people wake up on that tip.
Yeah, and YP always says, even if you don't believe in the devil, they do. So you got to deal with it.
Fact.
You got to deal with the fact that that's what they into. So what in your opinion do you think the end result of this election is going to be?
Well, I do think that if Biden wins, we finna be fucking with China hard, heavy. You know what I mean? I feel like that's another thing too. Like, the United States corporations that are in debt, shit like that, they can be acquired and bought out. You know what I mean? So people should be aware of what the fuck is going on, because if this dude gets into office, I feel like definitely, and it's gonna be more over here. We're gonna be need a lifetime supply of masks, because this shit ain't gonna stop. And it's gonna be crazy. So but that's if he wins. I also think that everybody's gonna be revolting too. Either way, people are gonna revolt, whoever wins. So I feel like there's that. So I feel like it's just a lot of bullshit that's going on. But it's not nothing that we should be still tied into. I feel like we should be getting ready for that, Saturn Jupiter conjunction.
And before I play this video, what does that energy bring for people who don't know? Like me.
Oh yeah. Well, it's interesting to say. I suggest people watch that Universal Disclosure Martin Kinney Cosmic Egg video on YouTube to get like the full little scope. But basically, what's gonna happen is like there's gonna be an alignment, like an alignment that only happens like every 19 years. And supposedly during this one, you just talked about how we're on the cusp of the Aquarian age. It's gonna be like let's just say like the veil is gonna be thin. You know what I mean? At this time, there's supposedly like they gonna try to say people got to stay inside, and you know what I'm saying. There's gonna be some, there might be some shit that you can see. Like I don't want to say paranormally, but there might be some unusual occurrences that's going on, and there's gonna be some extreme down. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people should get ready to accept that information when it comes by swinging, and that's what I've been looking into.
Yeah, because I do know that. I do know that, like, the veil has actually been slowly breaking down this whole year.
Yeah.
And even in my personal spiritual events that's happening, I'm seeing and downloading more and more light codes. My dreams are well, I don't really call them dreams because a lot of the times it's dimension hopping, to be honest. But they are becoming more visually sharp and more lifelike. In the geometric sacred geometry shapes I see when I meditate and I close my eyes are sharper and more vibrant. And it's just like all of this, like when you tapped into the universe, right now it's already it's almost overwhelming. So I can only imagine when the veil really kind of breaks down a little bit, how it'll feel, how it'll be.
Oh yeah, people should
good
be
and bad energy.
Yeah, you should yeah, what I mean by preparing too, I feel like, I'm gonna fast, a little bit before that happens, December 21st. I'm gonna be like fasting a little bit, probably exercising or whatever. Just trying to purge my body of like I feel like these toxins that we've been developing and we've been gathering up. And yeah, that is a great point too, bro. Like it's been a fantastic year for me and a few others. You know what I mean? I don't know about yourself, but I feel like 2020 has been a great year. And the only thing that's been bad is what the news put out. And that's the only reason I can think of why that would be, is because they want us to be in a lower vibrational form and not download all this, energy that's going to be coming forth.
That's facts. And I know that religions will see it as Jesus returning or Muhammad returning, or you know how that goes. But
Right.
it'll be a great spiritual awakening. And I read that Some people will deny it. Some people will be scared. Some people will embrace it. And, you know, those like us who are already ready, you know, we front lines with it. So,
Yep.
I'm going to take us off the screen for a second, but let me tell everybody what this video is. This video, the first half of the video is the Communist Party bragging about their plan to destroy America. Then the second half of the video is Hunter Biden having sexual relations with underage girls and his own kids, and with Malia Obama. Of course, I can't play that on YouTube, but I'm just telling you what is on the second half, and I'm going to stop it before that part happens. But if you want to check it out, you know, you just got to do your own research, because I'm not going to tell you, because it's actually low to high key, like child porn, and I don't fuck with that. Like, it could be speculative that the girls on the video are young, but I'm not playing those games, and I didn't watch it, so that is what it is. So let me play the video. I'm gonna take us.
盗国贼们有着2个让美国人必须走入极度失败的计划。第一个计划就是刚才说的 DEEZY， 第二个计划是 3M， 搞弱美国，搞乱美国，搞死美国。我今天会以我的生命向美国人保证，盗国贼在美国的计划现在进行的非常之成功，非常之快速。而且对美国人民和美国人民的资产和生命一定会造成巨大的危害。这个危害一定不是一次911就能代表的，可能是100倍、1000倍911。黑夜即将到来，一定要做好准备。黑夜来自到中国到过的黑夜即将到，另外的世界，每个人都将关心，大家做好。
I'm going to stop it right there. And I did some research on exactly what the plan was. So let me bring up this article. I don't know where the guests went, but I'm going to, while I bring this article up, I'm going to tell them to come on back. I apologize. There's kids in the background. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so let me read this real quick. I'm just going to skip down to the important part. Goa stated that China has a complete BGY plan to control the world. BGY stands for the plan, which includes blue, which is control the internet, gold, buy influence with money, and yellow, seduce key people with sex. Gao also said that China has a second plan called 3F, and both plans are to ruin the U.S. and to assure that China controls the world. And this article came out October 5th, 2017, but we're just now getting that information. So, yeah, shit is real. Shit is real in the field. So when, and that's what kind of pisses me off when I do a whole entire lecture about how Black Lives Matter is a communistic organization, and then people either ignore me or laugh me out the door, because it's real. This shit is real, and it's not for play. And that's the crazy part about it. hold on, let me hit. But yeah, that's facts. China needs to go down like yesterday. Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing though. Like Young Pharaoh has been, teaching, and other people have been teaching and exposing. The Democratic Party is a communistic party. They sold the United States out. That's why they're desperately trying to get Biden into office, because all of the evidence that's been compiled about the Democratic Party and all the people involved, if Trump stays in office, military tribunal off rip, like no choice. And it's sad that people. Hold on 1 second, please. People don't read, people don't research, and then when you tell them, when you do the research for them, they mock you and they laugh at you. And it's like, yo, we are literally on the verge of being taken over by a foreign government. Whether you believe in so-called conspiracies or not, you don't have to believe in the Illuminati to know that we are the biggest country in the world. So there's other countries that's trying to take us down. Like, that's just elementary. That takes an elementary thought process. Like, you don't have to understand about frequencies or universal concepts, or you don't even got to know your goddamn ABCs. But if a foreign country is using politicians and celebrities to lull us in our way of thinking, and using technology that we barely understand, like we don't even get food labels in layman's terms. Okay? We can't even look at a box of cereal and understand that this is like a chemical compound. You know? Like, we gotta kind of not okay. I think people are just gonna be lost, and like, if you don't know by now, then you're never gonna know. But we have to kind of just be strong in the knowing, and unfortunately the idiots are kind of pushing. Like, I've seen this video where this lady was mad at her son because he voted independent, and she's like, yeah, but if you vote independent, that's one less vote for Biden. That's good. How can you actively see an old man sniffing on girls and not feel like this nigga needs to be investigated? Like, fuck a vote. Like, he needs to be in a cell somewhere while they evaluate what he's doing in his personal time. Because if you so bold to rub on kids in front of the camera, what are you doing behind the scenes? Like, if you're that bold to do that, what are you doing behind the scenes? Like, I don't know. A lot of the times I feel like it's common sense and I'm talking to walls, but like, hey, people gonna twerk themselves to an early grave. People gonna twerk till they can't twerk no more, and by the time they look up, they gonna be in an internment camp with a chip in them, and their brain waves gonna be red. Like think about this. If somebody can read, if somebody has been spending hundreds of years studying how brain waves work and what frequency does this and what part of the brain controls that, and they have a chip that reads all of those biological markers, you don't think that if you get angry, you're not gonna find somebody clubbing your head in? Like, they can damn near read your thought patterns. Like, they know what an angry thought pattern is, what a sad thought pattern is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that. So why wouldn't you think that, like, if they're trying to literally, if you notice, I'll say this, the last 6 months or so, that this is what the sheep will be asking for. Let's all welcome the sheep to the slaughterhouse. Hey, that's about what it is. If you notice, in the last year, it's like 2019 till now, most of the shows are about integrating technology with people. And they're predictive programming. They're making it every generation before it gets introduced to the technology for the next generation. And so they're making all the kids that's growing up now, it's nothing for like, all right, like okay, let's say this. Growing up with our superheroes, it was like Bane. Bane shot up steroids to get big. Excuse me. People was using scientific experiments to biologically change, right? So now, as we're getting older, they're starting to talk about genetically modifying people and picking genes that you want and yada and all that stuff, right? So by the time our kids now, not that I have kids, but by the time our kids get our age, they're going to be used to bionics and transhumanism and all that type of stuff, because that's literally what they grew up seeing. And the guest is back, so I'm going to tell him a little bit about what we were talking about, and then.
Nah, bro, I've been listening. I've been here, bro. I just been backstage. I don't know what. I've been listening.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna drop off so you can expound on what I talked about, because it's doing that thing.
Damn, man. Fantastic points, bro. Fantastic points. And first I got to start off with the China being sold off to China. That's exactly what I was talking about, you know what I mean, with the United States being bankrupt, and you know what I'm saying, they can be bought out. If anybody's seen the movie Empire of the Sun, they show that this Japanese country just coming in, putting posters on people's doors saying this our shit now and y'all finna come to camp. And you know what I mean, like the country just got totally bought out. But basically though, what we're all doing by engaging with these motherfuckers is giving AI data. You know what I mean? We're just sitting here giving them data. When we sit here and participate in voting and things like that, their numbers, they're sitting here like, damn, this is how many Americans is participating. We got a grip on them. You know what I mean? So if anybody has looked into China recently, he kind of described it. You know what I mean? Their total social credit score system. You know what I mean? Exactly how they're trying to implement here. In fact, our companies are over there learning how to do that. So when they come here, when the shit's here, they already got a foot in the door. You know what I mean? So a social credit system, whereas you got so many points, and if you interact with bad people, they take points off, or if you do a heroic deed, they'll give you good points, or whatever that means. You know what I mean? The camera is looking at you. It can tell, you know what I'm saying? Where you live at and what you do, and if you're happy or sad, and your body temperature and all that shit. And so this is what's headed here. You know what I mean? So that's how I had to tie into that what you just said about China. And as far as just what was that last thing you said, bro? What you were ending off with? Because there was some deep shit.
I don't know. Sometimes the ancestors be taking over. I just be talking.
Yeah.
But man, what was I just saying? No,
all the movies too. All the movies too. Was getting it. You said something about the movies, like our kids back in the day.
How each generation is prepped with entertainment to accept what the new thing is going to be like.
Yeah,
like this generation growing up. Yeah,
we've been sitting here socially engineered and shown predictive programming all the way to where, you know what I mean, we've seen The Simpsons show that, fucking Trump's gonna be president. So how much more is it really gonna take for people to wake up and realize that all the world is a stage? And they do these different type of things because they're like, it doesn't matter what avenue you're in, and they're in their way, they told you. You know what I'm saying? So as far as how they sit here and condition us and get us being cool with whatever's going on is always TV first. You know what I mean? Before this pandemic hit, bro, I swear to God, that on Netflix, the top thing that was out that month was Contagion, that show with that scary ass motherfucking virus disease. And those were the top movies before this coronavirus shit hit. You know what I'm saying? And it really got people all scared and riled up. So when this shit really did start hitting, even I did, when I started seeing coronavirus posters at work and shit, after watching that series, I was like, damn, this shit's scary as hell. You know what I'm saying? So they plan on it. You know what I mean? They put that shit out in the ether, and then they let it do its magic. You know, and then there's us that's calling bullshit on it, but people are like, no, it can't be a lie. You know what I mean? There'll be too many people in on it, or you know what I mean? We see them spraying chemtrails in the air, right? They're like, they can't be doing that. They can't be harming everybody here. They're sitting here doing this shit like they got somewhere to go. You know what I mean? That's why I go so hard. I mean, I know that you probably don't get down with the flat earth shit, but that's why I go so hard with that flat earth shit, because there's more than what we know is here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that there's obviously a place for them to go, for them to be fucking up everywhere that they are. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be fucking up everywhere that you are and still living there. You know what I mean? You got to be somewhere else. So there's no more room for anywhere on the globe. You know what I mean? So there has to be, you know, more different areas and shit.
Well, you are right that that's one thing that we don't agree with as far as the flat Earth or round Earth thing. But I do know, and I know for a fact that there is a hollowed Earth, and this is not the only Earth within the Earth. Think of Earth as a jawbreaker, and there's various layers of the jawbreaker. So there are definitely what we would consider there's definitely underground cities, inner Earth. Yes,
and that's something that I accept too. You know what I'm saying? When I say flat Earth, I don't necessarily bang that shit like it's totally flat type shit. I accept every other, you know what I mean? Because as long as you don't believe that we are on a globe, you know what I mean, that fake ass NASA shit, then we cool in my book. That's how I think of it.
Nah, to me, it would make more sense that we spin on the axis. So it would probably be more of a egg shape than anything, in my opinion. But that's just, you know, that's speculation at best, common sense at, you know.
Yeah, that's so definitely we could chime in on it.
Or maybe, yeah. So, dang, this is a great bill, yo.
Really?
Like, is there anything that I have not brought up that you would like to talk about?
That we got to do this shit again for sure, and that there's, I mean, not necessarily. I feel like we can do a stream on like some alternative healing type shit too, or like some because I've seen like a couple of books and stuff that you're reading. So I know you're kind of more familiar with, you know, the medic principles and like neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes.
Quantum mechanics, things like that. So I feel like we should kind of put something like that to work, plan that out for the future.
That's facts. Like I'll be doing the second part of my Science of Sound lecture. It will be talking about how sound frequencies manipulate the body and biotuning and healing and solfeggio frequencies and all that type of stuff. I'll be doing that on the 11th. It's only $3.99, y'all. Well, I'll have the link in the description. And once again, everybody who bought a ticket for the first one will get in free. I still have the list, and you will just see the link in your email. So be looking out for that. But it'll be November 11th. And after that, I'm going to be doing collective consciousness, a lecture on collective consciousness, because when I learned about the Schumann resonance while doing my frequency lecture, I fell in love with it. And it's interconnected with so much stuff that I already know. So maybe we could do maybe we could collab on a lecture with that or something. You know, you never know. Maybe we could do that.
I love that. That's awesome, bro, and I respect everything that you do because that's inspirational, bro. What you doing, bro? That's what's up, bro. Do you listen to Crow 777 radio?
No, but after that first hour thing that you shared and I listened to it, they definitely the truth. Like,
Bro, I'm telling you,
I see why you like it.
Yeah, man. Bro, they talk about all of this stuff, bro. Like, it's literally all of this stuff. I feel like you would definitely like that shit because you smart as hell, bro. And I love to work with you, bro. You professional as hell, and you got some shit going on.
Hey, I appreciate that, yo. I feel like this the time of the black nerds, man. Nah, just
Hey, real shit, bro. We making a comeback.
Yeah. Nah, because we smart, we all smart as fuck, bro. And I do read a lot and I get inspiration from a lot of current and past black intellectuals.
Yeah.
For sure. And I'm talking General Seti, YP, La'ila Africa, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Shahrazad Ali, Francis Cress Welsing, all of them. Just we are so intelligent, and this our time, yo. Like this generation, we gotta show out. I'm a 90s baby. We gotta show out.
Me too, I'm 92.
I was born in 92 also.
Oh, that's what's up, bro. See?
Gang. Well, do me a favor before we end this, because it's 111. That's divine. Hold on. I'm gonna wait till it's okay. So, what I need you to do is tell everybody the social medias and stuff, so people, can check you out once again. And I'm going to, once you do that, I want you to hop off so I can, end it and everything. And then I'll be playing music and then we're going to get out of here. And I really, really appreciate you gracing my channel. Please do not underestimate your own intelligence, because not only did you display and build on what I said, but I'll be seeing you rocking on Facebook and you be on these niggas' necks. And I love it. So,
Yeah.
So I really gravitated towards your energy because just like me, you have like a sarcasm to yourself with the knowledge and you don't back down. And I really, really respect and appreciate that.
Oh man, we in the same classroom, so it's got that mutual shit, man. And yeah, y'all can follow me on Facebook, DEEZY Time on Facebook, predominantly there. You know what I'm saying? I do these often. I go on Bro Sanchez live. I be on, Young Pharaoh shit, but like I do open panels. I try to do my own open panels on StreamYard, you know what I'm saying, where we can have these conversations. I'm anticipating having a ladies stream, you know what I'm saying, for the ladies to drop some heat. But like a few references, a few things that I suggest people listen to, you know what I'm saying, Crow 777 Radio, YP, Dane Calloway, a lot of them, and follow me too, because I just try to drop a few facts and I try to wake people up, and you can actually copy and paste my shit. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming off the dome with it, and I want my stuff to be shared worldwide. And I do, you know what I mean? I got people from all around the world. So shout out to my mans for holding it down. And yeah, we definitely gonna have much more work coming up. And man, get ready for that Saturn Jupiter conjunction on December 21st. Yeah, watch that video. Martin Kinney, Cosmic Egg. It's like Norb's theory. It's like only like 45 minutes, I believe, or there's a long version. But watch that. That'll unlock some of your, have some aha moments. I feel like that's what it did for me. But yeah, that's all. I appreciate y'all too.
All right, yeah. So thank you once again for gracing the platform, bro. And we definitely gonna link again. And I'm gonna chop it up with you after I end this. And I'm gonna, give you my number and all that so we can, playing some stuff.
That, bro. Hey, family, I love y'all, bro. Y'all all stay blessed, bro. Real talk.
See, and that's love. So, that's what it's all about. We all about building. We all about exchanging information. You feel me? Putting somebody else on a platform to showcase their intelligence, showcase what they do. Yeah. So let me get this. Let me show this thing real quick before I end this. Science of Sound 2, November 11, 2020 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time live stream event, only $3.99. This link will be in the description description of the video. And yeah, we're going to go hard. And like I said, once again, anybody who paid the tickets the first time will actually get in free. That's right. Y'all will get in free. So just be on the lookout for that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out Crown G, Mind's Eye, I Am Wisdom. Who else was in the building? I saw Blue in the building. Street Knowledge in the building. Triple MTV. Goddess Aminata is in the building. Everybody was in the building, yo. This is an amazing building. I hope you walk away with something that you did not know. And please spread this and just, hey. So we're gonna end this with some dope music. King Cassius has dropped a new track that I want everybody to hear. So I'm about to drop this real quick and we can get on out of here. Come on. All right, y'all, let's leave with love and light. Peace.
Damn, that shit slaps. 380 on my feet, that's easy walking. Ride with FN, trying to keep Reaper off me. Wearing Palm Angels, trying to keep demons off me. 2 bands for the fit, but it's just a jog. Stacking up chips like Pringles, got niggas salty. Money on my line, barely answer when bitches call me. Early in the morning with a cup, but it is a coffee. I treat the work like a bug, how I get it off me. Broke call for a 9-piece, that's chicken talking. Name drop to my side piece, that's pillow talking. Might come VVS grill, that's dental flossing. Me and Reese smoking, laughing hard about different losses. Don't ask what I'm bringing in or what I'm sending off with. Gotta use a mask if it's really raw shit. Inhaling this bare face might give me nauseous. I'm going back to my old ways, don't get me started. Cashing bad checks at Walmart, then we hit the Target. I just swiped all the girls' clothes in the kids' department. Catch a op in the driveway, that's a sitting target. This is not a game when I blow and I switch the cartridge. Glock 19, then she bang like Ricky Martin. New favorite place to get here, yo bitch apartment. 32 packs for $1,200 like it's a bargain. 300 is it for a foe, I switch the market. My shit the hardest, get drip from Farfetch. Rapper, trapper, scamming, I'ma get rich regardless. Paint you then make a song, I'm a vivid artist. King.